Turn the volume up. Listen to my whispers. Close your eyes and let the darkness take shape around you. Every creak, every breath, every shadow you imagine is part of the story. Are you ready? When we were kids, we thought hide and seek was just a game. Count to 10, find your friends, laugh, and start again. But the game changes when you play somewhere you should. Somewhere old and dark and waiting. Tonight's story is about 6 friends, an abandoned school, and a game that never ended. This is the last one still hiding. It started as a dare. It always does. 6 friends, Mia, Jordan, Lex, Tasha, Ben, and Cole, decided to sneak into the old Westbrook Elementary before it was torn down. The place had been shut for almost 20 years after a fire in one of the classrooms. The windows were boarded up, the halls filled with graffiti and dust. Everyone said it was haunted, but teenagers always want to test that theory. They brought flashlights, snacks, and their favorite tradition, hide and seek. One last game in this dump before they tear it down, Ben had said. Winner gets bragging rights for life. They all laughed, but something in Mia's stomach twisted when she stepped inside. The air was heavy, the kind of stillness that felt thick in your throat. They gathered in the main hallway. Old posters still hung on the walls, read every day, and a half-burned class photo was pinned to a corkboard. The eyes of the children were gone, melted away. "All right," Cole said, grinning. "Who's it?" Jordan volunteered, turning toward the cracked wall and pressing his hands over his eyes. Counting to 60, "Go hide, losers." Mia and the others scattered down the hallways, laughter echoing through the school. Mia darted up the stairs, her flashlight trembling in her hand. Dust floated through the beam like snow. She found an old locker room, half-collapsed benches, broken tiles, lockers hanging open like mouths. Perfect hiding spot. She slipped inside one of the bigger lockers, crouching down, heart pounding. The metal door clanged softly shut. For a while, she could still hear them. The creak of floorboards, the giggle of Tasha echoing from the next hall, the faint sound of Jordan counting, 58, 59, 60, ready or not, and then silence. Minutes passed. Her knees ached, her breath shallow. Somewhere down the corridor, a flashlight clicked off. She waited, listening. Then footsteps, slow, dragging. She pressed her hand over her mouth, trying not to breathe. The sound came closer, the creak of shoes over cracked tile, the metallic hum of lockers being opened one by one. Clang, pause, clang, pause. Mia squeezed her eyes shut, biting her lip. Whoever it was getting closer. Clang, the next locker over. She didn't dare move. Then the footsteps stopped right outside hers. Silence. Through the slits in the door, she saw a shadow, tall, wrong. Too broad to be Jordan. It lingered there, breathing. A deep, ragged sound, like something wet dragging through its throat. Mia froze. Then the locker door handle began to move. Slowly, it turned halfway, then stopped. The footsteps backed away, one by one, fading down the hall. Mia waited. 1 minute, 2, 10. Finally, she pushed open the door and stepped out, legs trembling. "Guys," she whispered. No answer. She flicked her flashlight around the room. Empty, except on the wall opposite her, written in something dark and smeared, "Don't come out until you're found." Her breath caught. "Jordan, this isn't funny." She left the locker room, stepping carefully through the hall. The building groaned with the sound of age, pipes shifting, doors creaking. Everywhere she looked, there were signs her friends had been there. A dropped backpack, a half-eaten candy bar, someone's phone on the ground, still recording video. But no people. The deeper she went, the more wrong it felt. The air grew colder, heavy, with a faint smell of burnt wood. At the end of the hall, she found the old classroom that had burned down, black walls, melted chairs. A single desk, still upright in the middle of the room. Carved into it were 5 names. Her friends, but not hers. Mia stumbled back, shaking. "Jordan, Tasha, Ben, stop hiding." Her voice echoed, but no one answered. She ran back to the main hallway, the way out, only to find the door chained shut from the inside. She yanked at it, but the metal barely rattled. Her flashlight flickered. Then she heard it again. Footsteps coming from the end of the hall. Slow, heavy. "Who's there?" The light flickered again, and for 1 second, she saw something standing there. Tall, charred. Its face blackened and cracked like burned wood. Empty eye sockets. A teacher's ID tag still melted into its chest. It was whispering something, counting 57, 58. Mia turned and ran. Every door she tried was locked. Every window boarded. The voice followed her, steady, calm, whispering numbers that echoed in her head. She ducked into another room and slammed the door, pressing herself against the wall. Through the cracks, she saw it walk past, the burned figure dragging something metal across the floor. A ruler, maybe. 60, ready or not. She covered her mouth to stop from screaming. The figure paused right outside the door. It turned its head toward her. Then, in a voice like crackling fire, it said, "You're it." No one saw Mia again after that night. When police entered the building the next morning, they found only her phone lying in the middle of the hallway, still recording. The footage showed a locker door slowly creaking open, and faintly from somewhere inside, a whisper, still hiding, then static. They say the demolition crew refused to go back inside after finding that phone. Some workers swear they still hear counting from the empty halls, echoing under the dust. And every few years, someone dares to play hide and seek there again. Only 5 ever walk out. The 6th, still hiding. If you enjoyed tonight's story, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more nightmares.